Warning: intense yelling and vulgarity awaits. Please, turn down your microphone or anything that you use to listen to videos. Thank you. Hey guys, and welcome back to the theBSofSociety. Okay, Slimegate, do you see that guaranteed summon right there? Okay, I would like to let you know that I haven't gotten a single 5-star artifact during all of these fucking summons. If this is how you treat your fucking players, I might as well quit this fucking game. Okay, and how about this too? They updated the fucking secret shop over and over and over again to decrease the fucking rates on getting Covenant bookmarks. You know what? Fuck you, Slimegate! Piece of shit! Okay, it is safe for you to turn up the volume again. Hey guys, and welcome back to the theBSofSociety. Yeah, so that video that you saw at the beginning, we'll get there in a minute, alright? So, as you heard me say in the last video, basically, I quit Genshin for Epic 7. And what I didn't go over in the last video is kind of the similarities and differences between the two games. And those being the reasons on why I quit Genshin Impact. Alright. Now, obviously Genshin Impact is an open world 3D anime game, which can probably make it better than, you know, pretty much every single gacha game out there, including this one. But you see these animations right here? Yeah, this is the reason why I love Epic 7. The combat animations are just amazing, and I don't think you'd be able to really get that with a 3D gacha game that's supposed to be able to be played in co-op. It just doesn't really work out, you know? And, you know, that's kind of strike one. Now, as you saw in my last video as well, Epic 7 kind of works the same way as like Summoner's War, or I would say more like Raid Shadow Legends. You know, basically your characters move from one side of the screen to the other with combat waves in the middle of it. And then obviously PvP, it's basically just you and the enemy units in an arena, right? Now that's like the basics. And I would say pretty much that's where Genshin pretty much shines, is just right there. In terms of Genshin being a 3D open world, that's amazing. But in terms of animations and stuff, like that's where Epic 7 really shines. And then pretty much everything else is kind of on Epic 7's favor. Since that small video you watched went over the summons, let's go over this. Okay. Now, the summons in Epic 7 are supposed to be better than in Genshin Impact. So, unlike in Genshin Impact, the 5-star artifact, which you can kind of consider as the character's 5-star weapon, they're in the same banner. Okay? Now, sadly, 5-star artifacts don't have a guarantee, but generally speaking, you should be able to hit that 1.75% within 120 pulls. Okay, now the reason why I got so pissed off in that video was because I went through 120 pulls, which as you can see, 120 summons gets you to guarantee, and then you have to do another summon to get the character. Now, generally what happens, you know, oftentimes you're probably going to get to pity a lot. I believe for a 1% chance on heroes, it's like 100 pulls or so. That's kind of average, you know, somewhere around there. So generally speaking, you're probably going to hit pity a lot. But from going from 120 summons left to pity, you should be able to get at least a handful of 5-star artifacts. Maybe not the 5-star artifact for the hero themselves, but a 5-star artifact, right? Because the hero, the banner hero, their 5-star artifact is pretty much on the same rate as they are. right? So pretty much you have a 2% chance of landing either the hero or the 5-star artifact that's on the banner. Well, you see, in general, you basically have a 2.75% chance on getting any sort of 5-star, which is pretty good, but I don't think it should take me 120 pulls for that to happen. Now, either I just managed to roll the 94% sham shield on Borderlands 2, or these rates are rigged. Okay? Now, I said in the last video that I like gacha games that use the proper rates, and that I feel like the 0.6% chance on Genshin is actually a 0.6% chance. Okay, and even for like Honky Impact, the 1.5% chance actually feels like a 1.5% chance on there. You know, on this, even a 2.75% chance, it just does not feel like that's the case. Okay? Because when I started this Epic 7 account, y'all know the collab that was going on with Epic 7. You know how Envy basically reached pity on the character that was on that banner? I pretty much went through 30 to 40 pulls myself. So between me and Envy, we went through 160 pulls total before either of us got her. Alright? That shouldn't really happen. I mean, that's just bad. That's just really bad. Okay? Now, you might be asking, well, if you're going through 160 pulls before you and somebody else gets a 5-star character, how can you say this is better than Genshin when you can get basically 2 characters pretty much within the same amount of pulls? This is where the secret shop comes in. You see this? This is almost perfect. Yeah, you can buy bookmarks from here, and it costs so little to refresh, and this is what we saw Envy doing on his stream as well. He was basically sitting here constantly refreshing just to get more bookmarks, because you get plenty of coins just from playing the game. And that I really like, right? You can't just go to a shop in Genshin Impact and spend like 30 Primo Gems to refresh it to have the chance of being able to spend Mora on Fates, right? Because 5 bookmarks is basically 1 summon, or 50 Mystic bookmarks is 1 summon, right? And this is why I was also getting pissed off, because sometime in December, they basically did maintenance on this shop, and people were saying that they were decreasing the rates because obviously a lot of people use it. Now, there is another source of Covenant bookmarks. If we go over here to this shop right here, you can buy them right there, which for anybody that plays Epic 7, you would know, never do this unless it's like a last resort, right? If you're like 10 pulls away from your guarantee and the event only has like 2 days left and there's no possible way for you to get enough coins, by all means, use this. I did this on the last event, right? But generally speaking, you shouldn't be doing that. Now, me personally, what I like doing with my Sky Stones is refreshing energy. So that way I can get more bookmarks, because you can get bookmarks within the stages just by playing the game, right? And that is another great thing about Epic 7, is not only can you get your gear and everything while just standardly playing, you can get Sky Stones by just playing the game, which, you know, for daily commissions and stuff on Genshin, you can get more primos that way. But you can also get more summon chances by just playing the game at any point in time. You don't have to wait for daily resets. You don't have to wait for events. You don't have to wait for any of that. It's great. Now, I also mentioned in the last video that people complain about the artifact system a bit too much. Oh, come on. Don't do that while I'm in a video, please. Okay, here's the problem with the gear system in Epic 7. You see these sets? Yeah. If you're looking for a specific set, not only do you need that, okay, but you see this? 12% chance for an epic item. That's the highest rarity item that you can get. Okay? So, which means not only do you need the right set, not only do you need the right substats, but you also need the right rarity to make your gear as strong as possible. Yeah, that makes gear grinding in this game stupid, considering the fact that each character needs 6 pieces of gear, and you can only do one at a time. Okay? Now, again, you might be asking yourself, okay, so how come you still say that Epic 7 is better than Genshin? Well, that's because you don't have to gacha for half your fucking gear. Okay? In Genshin Impact, if you don't have good weapons, you're still just as screwed as if you didn't have good artifacts. Now, albeit 3-star weapons do work okay, just like basic artifacts do in here. But, you know, nah. Okay, and here's the other thing too. The resin issue in Honky, or in Honky and Genshin actually. The resin issue in Honky and Genshin doesn't exist on Epic 7. At least not for me, not right now. Do you see these web events? That's 200 total energy. And sometimes they'll have double web events, which makes that 400 energy. Okay, not counting the fact, holy crap, I did not know that. I thought it was 5 minutes per recharge. Yeah, 4 minutes for 1 energy on here. 4 minutes compared to the 8 minutes per resin on Genshin. Okay? So which means you're able to get a lot more than just the 280 that I was mentioning in the last video. Okay? And then not counting that too, you can also get another 100 energy from here. Okay? And then you can also get another 40 energy there and another 120 energy there. So in total, just from the web event, the ads, and that alone, that's like what, 460 plus your daily recharge. So you're looking at something like almost 800 energy per day. And keep in mind that most things in Epic 7 only cost 8 energy to run through. Okay? Some things like gear farming, I don't know if I can see it because I don't have the stages unlocked. But you can see it right there. For hunts, the maximum they go up to is 20 per stage, which is the same thing as basically the minimum cost of doing anything with resin on Genshin. There is absolutely no reason for things to cost that much, Mahoyo. Why does literally everything cost 20 resin? You could easily solve your resin issue by just decreasing the amount of resin that you need per thing. You know, maybe make a domain cost 5 resin, right? And then if you increase the difficulty to the max, okay, then raise it to 20. Not have it 20 by default. That's just dumb, okay? Because then you can't just artifact XP farm. You have to go out in the open world to artifact XP farm because there's no reason for you to... I swear. Mahoyo. Alright. And then events. Yeah, you see this shop right here? Do you know how long it takes to farm all this that I bought? It takes quite a while. Okay? And I'm still not done. And then you also have, and this is a thing with a lot of newer events, you also have extra stuff to farm for. So which means not only do I have to come back every day, but there's a reason for me to come back every day, but I can also continue farming for the entire day because there's a bunch of extra crap right here that is actually very useful. Because catalysts, or first of all, you can get extra summons. I don't know if I can see it right here. You can get Molagor Siege, which we'll get that in a bit. Giga Phantasms, we can get that in a bit. Covenant Bookmarks, used for summons. Guess what? You get 3 at a time. How many free summons do you get from Genshin events? Definitely not 3 summons per week. That's for sure. Mahoyo. Right? Right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You have a massive set of story stages to run through, okay, which can take you quite a bit. Oh, let's see. Each story stage maybe only takes like 10 minutes to read through the fucking story, not 3 hours. Mahoyo. You can't run through an event. Okay, and keep in mind, pretty much every event on Epic 7 starts on Thursday. And every single section usually lasts a full week. Okay? Now, if you have enough time, you can pretty much farm an entire event in like 3 days just by the energy you get alone. Okay? And you know, pretty much farm the things you need. Okay? Because when I started that slime event, basically, I only had like 4 or 5 days. And I farmed it all within like 3 days. So, I mean, if you're starting an event late, you can certainly get through it still. But, you know, like, why don't events last this long in Genshin and Honki? Literally, in Genshin and Honki, pretty much what happens in Honki Impact, basically that 50 resource right there, that's literally all you're doing every single day. It's just farming that. And in Genshin Impact, okay, so you might get, let's say in Genshin Impact, you basically can farm one of these items per day. But you can wait till it's basically all done and over with, and then you might be able to farm, say, like this, this, and this. And you can farm it all in one day. Dude, that only takes an hour. Right? And that's my personal problem with Genshin, is that things just don't last that long. You don't have massive story sections. You don't have an entire shop to farm. Like, there's literally nothing to do in Genshin Impact, Mihoyo. Okay? And that's a lot of people's problems when it comes to content. Not counting, okay, this is a PvP gacha game, so this is kind of a little bit unfair. But this game has a world arena, okay? Where you can basically fight against players all day long. Or if you want to spend more sky stones for flags, right? You can farm regular arena all day. Okay? Now, Honki has Abyss, just like Genshin, and Honki has Memorial Arena. Those two are kind of PvP in a way because they have leaderboards. Well, the Abyss and Honki Impact can be done over and over and over again to get higher score. People could do that all day. But Hoyo, do something. Not only that, but you also in Honki Impact, the Abyss and Memorial Arena scale off your level to start off with. And then for the Abyss and Honki Impact, it scales off of how well you're doing. And players that aren't playing the game, they get kicked down all the way to the bottom. So there's really no problem with them being in your way. Okay? So, like for me, I'm usually in like Agony 2 or Agony 3. That's my difficulty level. If I end up moving up to Red Lotus, it's too hard for me. But hey, that's part of the challenge, right? You actually get a difficulty scaling in Honki Impact. Do you see that in Genshin? No. It's another reason why people are complaining about difficulty, considering the fact players that are level 60 are able to clear the entirety of the Spiral Abyss without an issue. I don't even know if they're even able to farm the max level artifacts, and they're clearing the entirety of the Spiral Abyss with basic gear. Mihoyo, that shouldn't happen. Okay? Another thing that I like about Epic 7, and this is a problem in Arknights as well, is when the game first came out, right, pretty much you only had Leeway and Mondstadt. Okay, cool. That's not much to go through. Sooner or later, Sumeru is going to come out. Okay? So for new players who happen to pull for the new units, they have to go all the fucking way to Sumeru before they can level up their characters. Do you know how that works in Epic 7? The main thing you have to do in Epic 7 is basically get through the first episode of missions. Okay. which the first episode is basically this entire area. And then you get pretty much access to every single content in the game. Afterwards, you can come over here and craft catalysts, and you can craft any catalyst in the game. Right? So say, I don't know which one of these, I think this one's probably newer. Right? So say if you need to farm this, and you have to go all the way to fucking episode 4 to farm a catalyst. It'll show up right here. So even if you're a new player, you can still work on your new characters. Now, this is, of course, where I get into skills, right? This is where Molagoras come in, right? Because Molagoras kind of are the same way as crowns. They're supposed to be your more long-term investment for characters. And they've kind of improved the Molagoras system over time, but it's still kind of bad. But this is where you can use your catalyst to improve your characters, right? And not just there, but you also need catalyst for over here. And this is where you farm, what is that, Spirit Altar, which is basically your extra resources. Kind of similar to the extra resources you need to enhance skills and weapons in Genshin Impact. And see, that's the thing too. It's like weapons also have the same issue as characters, where you might have to go all the way the fuck to Sumeru just to be able to level them up, just because you accidentally pulled a 4-star weapon that's required Sumeru to level it up. Like, Mihoyo, do you ever think about these things? Oh, and let's not forget the fact that you pretty much also have to go all the way to the new area just to do the new events. I mean, Epic 7 is kind of that way now. Some events require Episode 2 to be completed, but most events in Epic 7 nowadays seem like they only need Episode 1 for you to clear. Right? Because enemies are pretty much level 50 anyways, so it kind of makes sense. Right? And then, you know, there's a much better leveling up system as well, because, you know, again, you don't need to go all the way to a certain area just to level up a new character because they're only in that area. Right? So to enhance characters in Epic 7, you need basically leveling up materials, promotion materials. That's what these guys are, usually. And you can enhance your characters all the way up to 6 stars, so that way you can level them up to level 60. Every character in the game can level up to level 60. Not bad, right? And then every character can have 6 pieces of gear, which you can tailor to them however you see fit, right? If you just have a bunch of random gear, you can give them a bunch of random gear so that way they can clear something, and then later on give them their sets. They don't have to have their set. You know what I mean? Genshin Impact, I feel like they have to have their set. Or at least something to complement their abilities. You know, it's just annoying. And the artifact system on here is kind of similar to the weapon system on Hunky and Genshin, where it's like, they kind of need it, that the artifacts give them extra abilities. So, I mean, I guess there's kind of a similar system there, but at the same time, it's like, I don't feel like this artifact system right here is completely dreading the game. Okay? In Hunky Impact, if you don't have a character's exact weapon, you know, an exact weapon that basically gives them an extra ability, per se, they're not entirely, you know, they're entirely fucked if they don't have their weapon. You can give them some random weapon, and they'll be significantly worse than if they just had their weapon. I don't think the same issue really applies in Genshin. I think you actually need the artifacts more, which, you know, it's basically an entire another issue in and of itself. But, you know, I feel like the same issue kind of exists in Genshin Impact compared to here, where it's just like, yeah, you need their artifacts, but you don't necessarily completely need their artifact. If you don't have their artifact, you can always substitute. You know? And then their sets are completely farmable, and you have more energy to farm their sets. I think the problem with the artifact system on Genshin Impact is just the fact that you don't have a lot of resin at all. Now, you figure you can only run through that basically 8 times a day if you're free to play. Epic 7, you get 800 energy regardless if you're free to play or not. Not only that, but again, you can refresh unlimited times a day, Mihoyo. Not just 6, but unlimited, and it always costs 30 Skystones. So, the artifact system, or the gear system might look kind of bad on here, but in actuality, if you have the resources, or, if you just want to spend money in the game, whatever, you can farm that all day long without a care in the world. And you could technically get the gear you need in one day. Genshin Impact, even if you're having good pulls, you figure you need 5 separate artifacts. There's 5 of your runs already. So you better hope you don't miss, which odds are on both games you will. I mean, yeah. There's just so much in Epic 7, and I think the biggest thing is that you can just play it all day long. I could cut out every single gacha game and have just this, and I would probably still be able to get at least 3 to 4 hours of gameplay every day. Depending on what I'm doing. But every day. You know? Oh, and Mihoyo, I mentioned this before in the last video, but please, for fuck's sake, fix the goddamn crown system. Molagoras do not require a new fucking update to get. Okay? Molagoras do not require a new update to get. Every week, you can get Molagora seeds. You get one here, one from your guild, and then usually one from the events. Okay, so that's at least 3 per week. Not counting that you can also get more from here, which is great. You don't require an update to get them. Now, albeit, crowns are only needed for the last few skills. But, Mihoyo, can you just add a monthly source for crowns? Please? So, you can see why I quit Genshin Impact. Like when I saw Envy playing this, I was just like, just off the animations alone, I was just like, wow, I forgot how much I actually liked Epic 7. And the stories on here are pretty good, considering how short some of the stages are. And I feel like even somebody that's working, that's working a normal job, can actually have the time to run through the story. And if they don't have time to play the game, guess what? You can auto battle. Yeah. So if you just generally don't have enough time to play the game, you can just come right over here and just have your characters run through the stage for you. And you can set your phone down, and the boss won't even know you're playing a game in the background. And that is one other thing I like about Epic 7, because honestly, games like Honky Impact and Genshin need some kind of way to auto-complete stages after you've beaten them. Whether it's just like a video format of your characters just rerunning through the things, or if you can just press a button and it auto-completes like on some gacha games like Illusion Connect. But Genshin and Honky really do need that, Mihoyo. So that way players that can't really play the game can still get the resources they need every day. So all of these issues for Genshin just compound together to basically make people want to say, or, me personally, I'd rather just play Epic 7. Even if I'm not actually playing the game, I feel like I'm getting somewhere. Genshin Impact, I felt like I was just farming and I wasn't getting anywhere. And I think that's part of the problem. And then when you don't have any events to farm, okay, I would say all gacha games have the same problem with new story that just takes forever to come up. But when you don't have a new event to farm more than just 30 seconds a day, You're just doing the same thing over and over and over. And again, this isn't just a Genshin issue. This is a Honky issue that Genshin brings to light a hell of a lot more. You know? And then when it comes to things like Abyss, one other issue I didn't mention is Abyss and Spiral Abyss are updated based on the banner characters. So if you don't have the banner characters or characters that are similar to them, you're going to have a much harder time running through that content. And I think that's just a bunch of bullshit. Okay, you can make the enemies harder for power creep. Like that stuff I understand. But there's not that many A rank ice units in Honky Impact. And whenever Hesher Reason comes up, I would really like it if you don't force me to have to use ice damage just because she's on the banner. Okay? That's called pay to win. And at least Arena on this isn't really required for me to get extra Sky Stones. You get extra Sky Stones at the beginning of the week just for participating. Okay? I don't have to try to clear 4 stages just so that way I can get my crystals that don't even give me more than 1 summon. Do you know how many Sky Stones I get just in gold tier? I get 300 Sky Stones per week. That's 3 summons at a bare minimum. Per week. Not just 2. Okay, I think I get 380 crystals maybe per week on Honky. That's only 2 summons per week. Albeit, we still have Memorial Arena. But what about Genshin? Genshin Spiral Abyss, you only get 600 Primos for every 2 weeks. That's not even 2 pulls per week. Ahoyo. Seriously? Fix your fucking game. And when you do, then I might consider coming back to Genshin. But do not continue to make Honky like Genshin Impact, because I will quit it if you continue doing that. Okay? Anyways. I didn't realize that I was carrying this video on for 30 minutes. Apologies. I probably won't make a video tomorrow since this one is so long, and I'm going to be hanging out with a friend tomorrow. So, with that being said, guys, I'll talk to you later. Peace. Hi, I'm back. Yeah, there were a few things that I needed to correct while I was watching through the video. Give me a second. So when I was going through events, something that I forgot to mention is that there are a few stages that do have additional difficulties. So like this one right here, you can go all the way down to Hell mode, which costs 30 energy and gives you a lot of event currency. You can only do it like 5 times, but I think you get like 1,500 event currency in total or something like that. I know Envy mentioned it on the stream at one point. And yeah, that can easily push you through the event a little bit. I think hard mode gives you like 60 to 90 per run. And then this gives you 30 per run. Not counting what chests and stuff can give you. Now, the reason why I run it through easy mode is because simply it's easier, so I know I don't have to watch the game. So I can do XP farming and stuff like that. But also, it's just a way for me to prolong the game. Right? Prolong my energy, per se. It's something you can't really do in Genshin. Like, you can't do an easier version of an event to prolong the event a lot of the times. Like, if there's an event where you can do, like, the highest difficulty and get everything from the easiest difficulties, why are you going to do the easiest difficulty? Right, and a lot of times what I like to do is do the easiest, then do the normal, and then do the hard, just to prolong the event, and then I'm still completing the event in an hour. Right? Yeah. And then another thing that I forgot to mention was Automation Tower. It's easier to look at like this. Automation Tower right here can give you an additional 2 Molagors per week, or not per week, per every 2 weeks. So this resets bi-weekly. You can get an additional 2 Molagors, and that's on the easiest difficulty, unless they changed it since I last did it. Not counting if you do a higher difficulty, I would assume that they would have more Molagors there. But at least on the easiest difficulty, 2 Molagors every 2 weeks. And this is something for newer players that's never played Epic 7, but the only way you can repeat auto battle is by having pets. And I believe you unlock this like right at the beginning of the game. All you gotta do is click the pet symbol, and you open up the pet UI right here, and the game gives you like 1 battle pet and 1 pet that can stay in your lobby. So every single star level gives them 5 extra repeat battles. So you can go all the way up to 30 battles that you can just repeat over and over and over again. And that really helps for when you just want to sit there. Right? And then the lobby pet can give you extra stuff. That's just some basic Epic 7 stuff that I forgot about. And then there's another thing. So every single character in Genshin Impact requires equipment, artifacts, their skills to be leveled up, and all that for them to do pretty much anything. The only thing in Epic 7 you really have to worry about is their levels. Their skills right now are not leveled up. Okay? Their skills are not leveled at all. Okay, I have no Molagors, I have nothing. Another thing is 3-star characters don't need Molagors at all. They used to, from what I'm told, a few years ago they used to need Molagors, but they don't. Okay, so if you're starting off in the game and don't have 4 to 5-star characters, not a problem. Right here, they solve your problem. Okay. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention. Do you see the selective summon right here? When you start off in the game, you get basically 30 10 pulls, and you can only pick one, and you can save one, okay? And basically what this allows you to do is get characters that you either want, or basically guarantee yourself at least 1 5-star at the beginning of the game. Now keep in mind that you can also delete your account at any time. So if you get what you don't want, you can simply just restart the game. How easy is it to restart the game in Genshin Impact or in Honky Impact? Not that easy, is it? No. And even then, in Honky Impact, you have to go something like 60 days before you really should be resetting, because that's how long the starter banner stays up. So, yeah. And that's part of the reason why I have so many 5-stars to begin with. Because Isra, I got off the selective summon. Ravi and Lilias, I got off of free 5-star summons that I got during the slime event, which was a good time to start the game, mind you. I also got her during the event, just for simply logging in, and I got the rest of her duplicates from playing the event, right? And keep in mind, I was doing the easiest difficulty, and I still managed to get her and everything, right? So easy, okay? You can easily get newer characters. Not only that, but the game starts you off with a 4-star character anyways. Where is she? There's a character called Mercedes. You get her after like the 2nd mission in the game. This girl right here. Yeah, you get her right at the beginning of the game. Okay. Let's not forget to mention that there's also characters over here that you can get completely free. And even this girl, Kana, right here. When she was released, she was here pretty much immediately. So there's characters that you can get for free that can drag you through the game at the beginning of the game. Easy. Do you see that in Genshin Impact? Here's Kaya. Here's Lisa. Here's Amber. Oh, you have to gacha pull for Noelle. That's pretty much your only starter banner. And then here's Barbara and Shang Li. Okay. That's it. That's all the free characters you get. I don't know. I don't think I can look at the daily login, but I believe once a month you get a free 5-star artifact and a free 5-star character. Okay, every month. Um, depending on the events, you might be able to get free 4 stars and 5-star characters. One thing I didn't mention was you see these summoning mileages right here? Yeah. When you do basically 120 pulls, you can go right here and get yourself a free 4-star, 5-star, and the Galaxy bookmarks give you stronger units. Now, keep in mind that you don't unlock this till you finish the first episode, so pretty much just do the other stuff at the beginning of the game. Also, you get a free summon every single day, okay, which you can only use on this starter banner. But do you see yourself getting free summons every single day in Genshin? No. Do you see yourself getting free summons in Honky? No. They don't want to give you anything. So even though I had a bad 120 pulls at the beginning of the video, guess what? I get free summons every day. Oh, and I forgot to mention that there are a lot of players that have 12,000 Skystones just because. They're free-to-play players with 12,000 Skystones. Easily. I'm at 4,000 right now. Do you know when the last time I pretty much exhausted my Skystone supply? December. And pretty much all of those are free to play, maybe besides like a couple hundred. And I can't click on this because my video thing's in the way. I believe you can check to see how much. Okay, so I got 1,000 paid Skystones and 3,000 free Skystones. So 3,000 Skystones since the last time I did anything. Do you? How many Primo Gems do you have for free right now? How many Primo Gems do you get in a month? What, 60 per day from daily commissions? 600 per every 2 weeks from, And keep in mind that a lot of these Skystones didn't come from events. Actually, okay, maybe some of them did, because you do get free Skystones off of, some of the challenges. But even then, it's only like maybe 1,000 or so. You get 60 Skystones per day, or no, you get 50. I think it's, let's see. Yeah, you get one Covenant bookmark. But okay, so you get 50 Skystones per day because it's this chest and this chest. So you get 50 Skystones per day. The same amount of Primo Gems, pretty much. Oh, and did I forget to mention that you need basically 100 Skystones, regardless, to get 5 Covenant bookmarks? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when I went to this shop over here? 100 Skystones. 5 Covenant bookmarks. So basically, every 2 days, you get 12 Covenant bookmarks at a minimum. And the Skystones you can do whatever you want with. You can refresh for more energy, like I do, so that way maybe you can get more Covenant bookmarks that way while you're getting more XP or whatever. Yeah. How about Genshin? Oh, so I get 120 Primo Gems over 2 days, and I can't even do a single pull. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, and then there's one more thing that I didn't mention. I talked about the gear system for a bit, but one thing I didn't mention is as Genshin continues to update more and more, we're going to see more things like Yoimiya show up, where they have not only a weapon that they need, like you see in Honky, but they're also going to need a specific artifact set. I mean, yeah, sure, the Crimson set might work for her a little bit. And you can probably get like a 2-piece Crimson and a 2-piece was a gladiator that gives 18% attack. But really, that's not how her kit works. Her kit needs her full artifact set. Because when you use her ability, you consume 15 energy, and she gets like 50% attack for 15 seconds. When you have a character with a weird gimmick like that on their artifact set, it's pretty much required that you need that artifact set. Okay, what happens if a new character comes out and you have to run all the way the fuck to Sumeru to get their specific artifact set to make them viable? Mihoyo, do I need to remind you that I know I showed this system right here that you can build gear, right? You can build this gear all you want, but when you're running through some of those stages, you get free gear that you don't have to build at all. When you're running through hunts, you also get free gear that kind of helps you having to run through it all the time. And sure, it might be pretty much anything, so it might be any gear item in any gear set, but guess what? You get free fucking gear. When you're running through the open world in Genshin, do you get free artifacts? Oh yeah, here's a 1-star, 2-star. Maybe you might get a 4-star artifact from some mobs, but will that ever happen? Not really. And are those artifacts even really useful for what you need them for? Not really. You have to go to the exact domain to get the artifact that you actually need. I don't really have to go to hunts. I can get level 44 items on the easy stages and events perfectly fine. And they have every single set. Sure, attack set and healing sets might show up, or health sets. But you know what? Everything shows up. So while I'm building new characters, I don't have to stress over it, and they get built almost by default. Okay? That's why I already have gear. Sure, it might be trash gear. Sure, the gear might not be leveled up. But guess what? You get full attack set and a full health set just by playing the game at the beginning. And look, they already have gear. It might not be leveled up. It might be level 44. But hey, it's gear to start off with. Gear that I can get through the first episode with. I don't have to run all the way the fuck to Sumeru so that my character can deal any sorts of fucking damage. I don't have to go on the fucking banner to get their weapon so that way they can deal any sort of fucking damage. Okay? And again, I said this before, and I'm going to say it again, but I don't have to run all the way the fuck to Sumeru to get the catalysts that I need. I can build them, whether I have the area open or not. Was there anything else that I missed? Yeah, and then Genshin doesn't have a secret shop. No, I think I've covered everything for real this time. I'm going to watch through this segment, and when I'm doing my editing, I'll obviously watch through the first segment just to make sure I covered everything. Apologies for making this video pretty much 50 minutes long now. I'm definitely not going to make another video for the next day, whenever this video or should we say tomorrow. As of me recording this video, I'm going to be hanging out with a friend. I don't even know if I'm going to have this video uploaded for tomorrow, so this video might be going out Thursday. But yeah, we'll see. So with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Warning. Intense yelling and vulgarity awaits. Please turn down your microphone or anything that you use to listen to videos. Thank you. Yeah, I did forget something. You remember that daily login I mentioned in the last segment for stuff that I forgot about? Yeah, Honky has the daily login in-game along with this, right? Genshin only has this. Epic 7 has a login in the game. Mihoyo, can you please add a daily fucking login into the fucking game? Seriously! Genshin Impact is the only gacha game that does not have a monthly login in the fucking game. What the fuck? I swear to God. Genshin is like the worst gacha game ever. It has like no optimizations. No quality of life. Seriously. Sorry for screaming in your ears.